Good morning. I'm Reverend Kathy. Welcome to Unity North Spiritual Center here in Coon Rapids, Minnesota. And happy Labor Day weekend. I see some people are out doing a last weekend hurrah before fall begins, I guess. So glad to see those of you who are here today. And you are always welcome at Unity. We are an inclusive community. We welcome and accept all people. So whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual path, you're always welcome here. We're also part of a greater worldwide unity movement, publishers of the Daily Word magazine, and we've been holding 134 years of prayer vigil through Silent Unity, the prayer ministry of the Unity movement. So prayer is the heart and soul of Unity. And our prayer chaplain today is Wendy Erickson. She's currently in the kitchen fixing snacks. So I shall wave to you later, but her number will show up on the chat and during announcements. So we thank Wendy for doing that. And let's see, I want to introduce our producers today, Sunday producers, Chris and Tracy. Let's give them a hand. And our worship assistant is Noel Labine. And then we welcome back Claire Vanderkrammer, our wonderful musician. And let's begin by speaking our mission and vision together. Together with our vision centered in prayer, we create for all a world of love, harmony, and abundance. In our mission, celebrating spirit, exploring truths, awakening hearts, inspiring dreams, serving community. And note our values at the bottom. These are our core foundational beliefs here at Unity. So with that, I invite you to stand for our opening song.
Once in a lullaby, somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. One day I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops, way above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh, why can't I? Why can't I? So can I.
Thank you, Claire, for that wonderful morning song. Doesn't rainbows feel like morning to you? It's like watching the sunrise, you know? So this is a time in our service when we greet one another. If you are on Zoom, please turn on your cameras if you are able. Whoever's joining us for the first time, please wave. And if you can unmute yourself, tell us where you are from. Oh, okay. I'm not getting that screen. Oh, okay.
Keep talking.
I'll keep talking? All right. So if you're in the sanctuary and you're someone new, please wave your hand and let us know. See? Okay. I guess there's nobody new. All right. So now everybody can wave at one another. We got those formalities out of the way. And think back about those days when we used to get up and walk across the room and hug and those sort of times. It'd take us 5 minutes to get the service going. A lot of love. So we welcome you all. I'm glad you're here today. At this time, we're going to prepare for prayer requests. Let's start out by doing some breathing exercises. First thing to do is to breathe in and bring in peace, love, and joy within. Connect your heart. Think about your heart and have that coherence that happens when your mind and your heart is together. And then release when you exhale. Release any stress, worry, or doubt, or any fear. Once again, inhale. And exhale. Instead of saying your request out loud, we invite you to speak a name or prayer request silently in the sanctuary or aloud in the privacy of your home, and hold these requests in silence. We give thanks in advance for seeing these prayers manifested so that we can enjoy harmony, abundance, well-being, and spiritual awakening. Please stay centered for the daily word. The daily word for Sunday, September 1st is togetherness. Togetherness enriches my soul. So much of modern life involves time alone and solitary effort. The more conveniences I acquire, the less time I may seem to have. When I find myself spending too much time alone, it's good for me to invest time and effort in my relationships. Togetherness is a way to remember life, that life is more than work and busyness, and that I am part of something greater than myself. Time spent with others blesses and enriches me. It calls me to share of myself and remain open to others' journeys and ways of looking at life I may not have considered. Togetherness is a balm for my soul, a way to feel the presence of God reflected in those with whom I share this wonderful planet. I am part of the wondrous human family, and I celebrate our togetherness. So we, who are many, are one body in Christ, and individually we are members one of another, from Romans chapter 12, verse 5. And now Claire will sing us a song to prepare us for meditation.
Listen with your heart, you will understand. Listen with your heart, you will understand. Let it break upon you like waves upon the sand. Listen with your heart, you will understand. Let it break upon you like waves upon the the sand. Listen with your heart, you will understand. You will understand.
Now I invite you to sit back and relax for meditation. Take several deep breaths, feeling that wave of relaxation move from the top of your head all the way down your body to your feet. And saying to yourself, I'm completely and fully relaxed. As we center ourselves in the living, loving presence of God, we know that we are all one. We are all part of the cosmic unfolding, all part of the evolutionary work of the universe. And each of us has a part to play, a part in the great work of the cosmos. Our part is to open our hearts to love. So let us think of our work as doing what we love. As we listen to the words of the prophet by Khalil Gibran, then a plowman said to the prophet, "Speak to us of work." And he answered, saying, "You work that you may keep pace with the earth and the soul of the earth. For to be idle is to become a stranger unto the seasons, and to step out of life's procession that marches in majesty and proud submission towards the infinite. When you work, you fulfill a part of Earth's furthest dream assigned to you when that dream is born. And in keeping yourself with labor, you are in truth loving life. And to love life through labor is to be intimate with life's inmost secret. And all work is empty save when there is love. And when you work with love, you bind yourself and to one another and to God. It is to sow seeds with tenderness and reap the harvest with joy, even as if your beloved were to eat the fruit. It's to change all things you fashion with the breath of your own spirit. Work is love made visible. So whether we work at a job or not, we are part of the great work through the love we express each day. Let us take a few moments in the silence to ask ourselves and ask God, what is it that I love? Show me the different things I love and let me know how I can incorporate more love into my daily life. I ask this in the silence. Thank you for the great work of the universe, which is being done through each one of us this day as we follow our bliss. Thank you, God, and so it is. Amen.
I chose a song to start out the service today from a Jana Stafford and a Megan McDonough. When you do what you love and you follow your bliss, you can do amazing things. And that is the name of the song, Amazing Things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. And oh, the places you will go, and the people you will know. Don't worry when or where or how, 'cause you don't need to know that now. You're on the right path. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what each day brings. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. We're here to do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes the best answers come when you're out there just having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing. You can do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. We're here to do amazing things. We're here to do amazing things.
What a beautiful song. Thank you, Claire. Well, 5 Jewish men influenced the history of Western civilization. Moses said, "The law is everything. Jesus said love is everything. Marx said capital is everything. Freud said sex is everything. Einstein said everything is relative. Each of those individuals impacted the whole by their work, and each one had a completely different perspective led by his own particular passion and expression of his inner light. So this theme of work and the passion and inner light that fuels it comes up on this Labor Day weekend. The poet Rilke speaks of the great work. He says, "For somewhere there is an ancient enmity between our daily life and the great work. Help me in saying it to understand it. When can we be real? When does God pour the earth, the stars into us?" So by expressing our light in the world, we engage in the great work. There's really only one work going on in the universe, the great work of creation itself. The work of evolution or creativity in the universe. And the essence of this work, this divine creativity, is love. Joseph Campbell, the great mythologist, coined the term following your bliss. He said there is a Kabbalistic image that occurs in many contexts, the image of the wheel of fortune. Now there's the hub of the wheel, and then there's the revolving rim of the wheel. For example, if you're attached to the rim, the outer edge of the wheel of fortune, you'll either be above going down, or you'll be at the bottom coming up. But if you're at the hub, you're in the same place all the time. And that is the heart center, the place of the marriage vow, human or divine. I take you in health or in sickness, in wealth or in poverty, going up or going down, but I take you as my center and you are my bliss. Not the wealth that you might bring me, not the social prestige, but you. And that is following our bliss. Staying centered at the hub of the wheel is a challenge in the midst of life's troubles. We tend to move out to the rim when we're faced with various challenges. When we become overwhelmed with some of the news about floods or shootings or fires or corruption and realize our vulnerability, how do we stay in the center? Well, we can think, there but for the grace of God go I. And as we watch from a distance, it gives us a vulnerable feeling, though nothing like those who are in the midst of it. How does one stay centered when our life has been upended? Well, it's easy to first get stuck on the rim with our various life issues, but I'd like to focus today on the hub of the wheel, the place of divine light, the heart center, the power of love and bliss and joy. And this is where we experience the call, to the great work of the universe. Staying at the center of the wheel means centering ourselves so our work and our actions come from the heart and we shine God's love in the world. One woman said of her work, "My husband commutes 92 miles each way to work 4 days a week. I'm a preschool teacher mornings and an emergency medical tech by night. And we have 2 young children. Needless to say, house cleaning has a low priority in our home. I did not realize how far down on our list it was till I helped our 6-year-old clean his room. When I stripped the sheets from his bed to launder them, he asked what I was doing. My explanation evoked a cry of amazement. 'Wow, Mom,' he said, 'will we have to do this every year?' Well, in Joseph Campbell's interview with Bill Moyers, he said he came to this idea of following our bliss because in Sanskrit, which is the great spiritual language of the world, there are 3 terms that represent the brink or the jumping off place to the ocean of transcendence. And those three words are Sat, Chit, and Ananda, Satchitananda. And it means bliss or rapture. And Campbell said, I don't know whether my consciousness is proper consciousness or not. I don't know whether my being is proper being or not, but I do know what my rapture is. So let me hang on to my rapture, and that will bring me to both my consciousness and my being. And then he went on to tell Bill Moyers that he thought it worked because he was able to find his consciousness and his being by following his bliss, his joy. And in the process, he expressed his light in the world. So our true labor in life then is finding our bliss and following it. And that means finding love and light at the center and letting it express through us as we become light bearers. He agrees, he totally agrees. Well, the ancient alchemists said that we are all responsible for the great work of evolution, and we are not doing this alone. The great work was and still is to the alchemists about waking up, becoming conscious of self, of our oneness with God, and the power of light and love, and then helping others. That's certainly what we teach in Unity, isn't it? And we're all here to awaken and to become conscious of our oneness with God and each other, to become expressions of light in the world. I like what Swami Beyondananda says. He says, the universe has us surrounded. We might as well surrender to the power of love. This entire process of following our bliss and participating in the great work of evolution is about life calling us to greater wholeness, calling us to a greater expression of divine light. We let go of the rim, that place of fear on the edge, and we move to the center of the great wheel, where we become grounded in our heart, and from this place we listen and we follow our inner guidance. So the best way to do this is through a spiritual practice of prayer. Take time each day to connect with the inner Christ, with that divine light within, going to your heart center and asking for guidance. Just pause, even in the morning, pause and ask for guidance for your day. And then spend time in silence, listening. Following our bliss means we have to separate from our comfort zones. Sometimes it's forced upon us by unexpected events. Sometimes we must defy those people in our environment telling us what we cannot do or what we should do. We often have to look past outer appearances of lack and limitation and hold to our dreams, stay centered, and come from that place of love and light within us. Do you remember Susan Boyle, the singer who auditioned some years ago on Britain's Got Talent? She had been told she had a learning disability from being deprived of oxygen during her difficult birth. And she still participated in singing events because singing was her great passion. Others often mocked her and bullied her through the years. She finally said, you know, there are enough people in the world who are going to write you off, so you don't need to do that to yourself. And her mother encouraged her to audition for Britain's Got Talent. She was hesitant because she believed people were being chosen for their looks, and she was very ordinary. And through the constant persuasion of her former coach, she gathered the courage to try as a tribute to her mother. And her performance was the first after her mother's death. She was 47 years old back then in 2009. How many of you remember her? Yeah, a lot of you. Well, when she stepped on stage And she was asked about her dream. She responded that she was trying to be a professional singer, as successful as Elaine Page. Well, some parts of the audience started rolling their eyes in disbelief at that point. Despite the crowd's doubt, Boyle chose to ignore them and sang her winning piece, I Dreamed a Dream. And as soon as she hit the first note, the audience was awestruck. Her audition received 2.5 million views on YouTube in the first 72 hours. And when her first album, I Dreamed a Dream, was released, it became the UK's best-selling debut album of all time. Her successive albums also did very well. Now, through this time period, she learned that she had been misdiagnosed with a low IQ and a learning disability. And in fact, she had Asperger's syndrome, which always means a high IQ. Asperger's syndrome is a disorder on the autism spectrum, and it affects a person's understanding of social cues. So she didn't have many social cues, didn't understand them, and it made her awkward in social situations, but her IQ was very high. What a dramatic realization to discover that you have a high IQ instead of a low IQ when you've been told that your whole life. Well, regardless, she dreamed her dream and fulfilled it by letting her light shine in the world. Well, before the late Maya Angelou became the powerful poet and civil rights activist the world remembers her as, she suffered a life of torment and darkness that nearly stole her voice forever. At a very young age, she was forced to endure intense physical and emotional abuse at the hands of a family member. As a result, this is hard to believe, but she became mute for nearly 5 years. Completely mute. If you remember her voice was one of the most incredible voices, speaking voices that you could hear. It all changed one day with the help of a family friend, a teacher named Bertha Flowers. Angelou credited Mrs. Flowers for helping her find her own voice again. Through Flowers, she was introduced to African-American female artists like Frances Harper, Anne Spencer, and Jessie Fawcett. In addition, Mrs. Flowers introduced Angelou to Dickens, Shakespeare, Poe, and several other prolific writers who would come to greatly influence her personal and professional philosophies. So she went on to say yes to her dream and let her light shine. She became one of the great poets and speakers of our time. Well, these individuals and so many others have defied their doubts and the opinions of others. They've separated the true from the false and followed their bliss. And whether they achieved material success is not the point. It was the overcoming of outer appearances and other opinions and acting out of love that is important. The money may then be icing. It's like the story of a father and his son. They took a donkey to market. And the man sat on the beast and the boy walked. And people along the way said, "What a terrible thing, a big, strong fellow sitting on the donkey's back while the youngster has to walk." So the father dismounted and the son took his place. And soon onlookers remarked, "How terrible, the old man walking and the little boy sitting." At that, they both got on the donkey's back, only to hear others say, "How cruel, 2 people sitting on one little donkey." And off they got. But other bystanders commented, "How crazy, the donkey has nothing on his back and 2 people are walking." Finally, they both carried the donkey, and they never did make it to the market. You know, to find our passion, we must separate ourselves from the opinions of others, especially when we don't fit in, and be willing to be and do what we love. Sometimes we do things because others think we should. The little boy sat at the piano resisting his lessons and said, "Mom, I just wish you hadn't been deprived of so many things when you were a child." We must separate from the familiar and have the courage to step out past the opinions of others, past the old ways, and become our true selves. So we courageously set out on a new adventure, led by what we love, led by faith, led by life itself, and we face our fears because even then, it may not all be smooth sailing. When we go sign up for a class, it may be closed out. Or when we finally speak up, we may be told to butt out. When we start going public, we may hear other people's negative opinions. We may also struggle as comedic singer Greg Tamblyn did. Hope you remember him from when he was here. He described in his song was called "Self-Employment Made Harder by Difficult Boss." Well, when I went into the ministry, I was elated that I was following my love, my bliss. And I love that my main passion, which is the spiritual quest, is an active part of my daily working life. And the things I've always loved are the ones I express the most in this work. God, the spiritual quest, teaching, writing, creativity, connecting with people, counseling, helping and empowering others, sharing knowledge, philosophizing, reading, synthesizing truth. You know, finding the path of bliss, the path of heart, was a long journey, which includes some painful times as well as a very eclectic exploration of many subjects and possibilities. Above and beyond it all was the idea of love, because it is a labor of love. And I was drawn into ministry because of that which I love. And like any calling, there have been those refiner's fire experiences testing my faith. I had to overcome a very painful shyness. I had to go through divorce. I had to trust in the universe to provide despite outer appearances over and over again. You know, we all have various tests on our journeys, whether they're about money or relationships or health issues or loss or the releasing of fears or experiences beyond our control. Some of us are called to serve in a great capacity, and others with small acts of love and dedication that may never be visible in the world, but will create a blueprint for the world to come. You know, we all have the capacity to serve each day in small or large ways as we are guided. You may remember this. The mothers of 4 priests got together when they were discussing their work, the work their sons did actually in the world, and how wonderful their sons were. And the first one said, "Well, my son is a Monsignor. When he enters a room, people say, 'Hello, Monsignor.'" And the second mother went on, "Well, my son's a bishop. When he enters a room, people say, 'Hello, Your Excellency.'" Third one said, "My son is a cardinal. When he enters a room, people say, 'Hello, Your Eminence.'" The fourth mother thought for a moment. She said, "My son is 6'10" and weighs 300 pounds. When he enters a room, people say, 'Oh my God.'" So it's never too late to follow our bliss, since it means listening to our heart one day at a time. Sometimes becoming part of the great work by following our bliss is simply a change of perception. Joseph Campbell said that he had a superstition that grew on him as the result of invisible hands coming all the time to help him, namely, that if you do follow your bliss, you put yourself on a kind of track that has been there all the while, waiting for you. And the life that you ought to be living is the one you are living. When you can see that, you begin to meet people who are in the field of your bliss, and they open the doors to you. He said, "Follow your bliss, And don't be afraid, and the doors will open where you didn't know they were going to be. So let us each ask, what role am I to play in my family, in this community, in the country, in the world at this time in history and in my life? It's interesting too that the word role comes from an old French word which referred to the roll of parchment on which an actor's part was written. Everyone has a role to play in the drama of an unfolding creation story. It's also telling that the parent to the French word for role is the Latin word rota, which means wheel, the wheel of fortune, a cosmic role. Our playing on the sacred wheel, the cosmic mandala, constitutes our work. As the Bhagavad Gita puts it, the drama is larger than we imagine. We are not solitary actors in it. Our roles are cosmic roles in a cosmic drama. Our work is a cosmic work. God is pouring the earth and the stars into us right now as we find ourselves at the center of the cosmos, bathed in divine light. We are at the center of the wheel, the center of our own heart. Let us work and love and help each other from that place. God bless you. Thank you.
You know, it's kind of interesting. I was reading about Maya Angelou just a couple weeks ago, and it was her teacher, Flowers, who told her and got her to speaking again because she said poetry is meant to be read aloud.
Wow.
And that's one of the things that sort of put her into the point of speaking again.
How interesting. And I was thinking about Somewhere Over the Rainbow yesterday. So, yeah, real interesting synchronicity.
And it's interesting too. A lot of times we can get in our own way of seeking what we love by saying, I'm just an amateur. And I hope that I am always an amateur, because amateur oftentimes has that derogatory sense to it, but when you go back and look at the root, the Latin root, which means amor or love. So to be an amateur is to be in love with what you do. I thought it would be kind of fun to introduce this song since we started out with Somewhere Over the Rainbow. We just kind of keep in the Wizard of Oz theme. And this is If I Only Had a Brain. And we're dealing with three parts here: your brain, your heart, and what's the third thing? Oh, courage. We can get in our own way, and our ability to find those things takes all of three of those, and they've been there all along. If I only had a brain. I could while away the hours, conferring with the flowers, consulting with the rain. And my head I'd be scratching while my thoughts were busy hatching. If I only had a brain, I'd unravel any riddle for any individual in trouble or in pain. With the thoughts I'd be thinking, I could be another Lincoln if I only had a brain. Oh, I could tell you why the ocean's near the shore. I could think of things I never thunk before. Then I would sit and think some more. I would not be just a nut in my head all full of stuffing, my heart all full of pain. I would dance and be merry, life would be a ding and dairy if I only had a brain. When a man's an empty kettle, he should be on his mettle and yet I'm torn apart. Just because I'm presuming that I could be kinda human if I only had a heart. I'd be tender, I'd be gentle, awfully sentimental regarding love and art. I'd be friends with the sparrows and the boy who shoots the arrows if I only had a heart. Picture me a balcony above a voice sings low. Wherefore art thou, Romeo? I hear a beat, how sweet, just to register emotion, jealousy, devotion, really feel the part. I would stay young and chipper, and I'd lock it with a zipper if I only had a heart. Life is sad, believe me, missy, when you're born to be a sissy without the feminine voice. But I could show my prowess, be a lion, not a mouse, if I only had the nerve. I'm afraid there's no denying I'm just a dandelion, afraid I don't deserve. I'd be brave as a blizzard, gentle as a lizard, clever as a gizzard, if the wizard is a wizard who will serve. Then I'm sure to get a brain, a heart, a home, the noise.
Thank you, Claire. What a fun song. You know, somebody asked me what was my favorite Wizard of Oz character. It was definitely the lion. I like the way he talks, kind of funny like. Yeah. But I didn't care too much for the Tin Man. He's kind of like a 1930s version of CP3O. Did I say that right? CP3O. One of those. Okay. Well, I got my foot in my mouth again, so we'll go with offering time. This is a time in the service when we're going to bless our offering. If you have an offering you want to leave with us today, there's a basket by the entry to the sanctuary. You can drop your offering in, or you can go to our website. On our website, you got options. You can donate, hit the donate button, or you can look at our address and mail us a check. You can click on this URL code. That's something that PC3O? C3PO. C3PO wouldn't understand. I don't get it, obviously. All right. All right, let's bless the offering. Divine love flowing through me now blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. And now Claire will play us another beautiful song.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed.
Thank you, Claire. So now it's time for the announcements, community news. Wendy Erickson is our prayer chaplain today. She's in the back of the room there waving her hand. For those of you online, you can see their phone number there. Give her a call. She'll help you with your prayers. Today's healing facilitator is Cindy Huberty. She'll be available after service for one-on-one healing. Please meet with her right after the service by the fountain, which is over to the stage right. It'll be to the left if you're in the narthex, just by the fountain. And if she's in session, you only have to wait about 15 minutes and she'll take on a second person too as well. There's a men's group. We're going to try to get back on a regular schedule, second and fourth Saturdays from noon to 1 p.m. The next meeting is Saturday, September 14th. The new school year is just around the corner and the youth ministry is in need of some additional support. Kathleen and Moira are looking for 2 to 3 volunteers in the nursery and 2 to 3 volunteers in the YES program. That's ages 5 to 11 years old. They're wanting one Sunday a month, possibly less if we get several volunteers. Please see Moira or Kathleen for sign up or any additional questions. They're sitting right to the back of the sanctuary here. Our next Family Promise hospitality support is due September 8th. We will be providing cleaning needs to 5 families in shelter. The sign-up sheet is on the table in the narthex. Any questions, also talk to Kathleen about that. So we have a listing of some upcoming parties that still have openings. Game Day, hosted by Judy Hale, is next Sunday, September 8th, from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. at St. Therese of Oxbow Lake in Brooklyn Park. There's 5 tickets left. All kinds of fun games are scheduled there, and there will also be some pizza, popcorn, and drinks to go with the party. A really good deal for $10. And then there's the Acoustic Weave Concert. That's coming up on September 20th. We have Claire and Judy Vinar and Braden who are going to be performing. So we get a concert with 3 musicians for the price of 1, only $20. Come along for the music, some music you've never heard before, and expect the unexpected. As Claire von der Gummert, Judy Vinar, and Braden Canfield invite you to an evening of their musical music. Kids 12 are half price, $10. So they want a sense of how many people are coming. So if you are considering this, please sign up or let Chris just raised his hand, so if he's not signed up already.
Hello, sign up, be great.
Yeah, sign up. Okay. Sacred Earth, Sacred Soul is the book study that's going to happen, led by our esteemed Rhonda Italiano. I've been reading this book. It is a fantastic book. You can spend some time contemplating on what it means to be sacred. Celtic teacher and mystic John Philip Newell promises to help us to learn to listen for the sacred and reverence within us and all around us. We can delve into several aspects of sacred, including the sacred feminine, sacred imagination, and sacred compassion, to name just a few. Engage in this class for a while and rediscover the sacred that is all around us. So please sign up, and there's a link there to sign up. Or like any of these signups, you can always just contact our our management assistant. Why do I not get her name right now? Brandy, yes. Maybe I do need some CP30 or PC30. I need a little robot here to help me. Okay, you're invited to join us for the Unity World Day of Prayer on Thursday, September 12th. That's also coming up at 7 p.m. So the theme this year is Moving Mountains, and the affirmation is fueled by faith I can move mountains. For those of you who have seen the movie The One Field, this has been a wonderful opportunity for you to practice your coherence and your power of the compassion in your heart. So please join that event. That should be really neat. And there's a special Sunday on September 22nd. That's right after the concert. So somebody's already getting excited about it. That's good. There's going to be a Q&A with Reverend Kathy during the service that Sunday. And there'll be guest musicians. And there'll be a visit from two long-distance congregants, Finn and Rebecca. And there'll be a lunch after the service. So that should be a wonderful weekend. Concert one day and come in for all kinds of activities going on here. Please join us. The Caitlin Barrett is a soloist from the Brooklyn Big Band. Caitlin is the gal that comes here and usually Nancy accompanies her, isn't it? That's this different gal?
No, she came once with the Brooklyn Big Band. Remember when we had the big band come?
The woman with the really big voice that we all went,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm having a little trouble with that too, yeah.
She has a fabulous voice.
Okay, that's good. So that sounds like something definitely to be a really fun day. All right, so with that, would you please join me say the affirmation? Centered in prayerful intention, we give thanks for an overflowing abundance of spiritual awakening, prosperity, new members and children for Unity North Spiritual Center. And now Reverend Kathy will lead us in a prayer for protection.
Yeah. Well, let's give Noel a big hand. Thank you, Noel. And thank you to Chris and Tracy for running the sound and PowerPoint today. Great job. And special thank you to Claire. Wonderful songs. You can't wait for your concert. It should be fun, lots of fun. And it's inspired, I didn't know whether you heard that before, but two of our remote attendees who've been coming for 4 years online with us, but have never been here. They're coming that weekend for your concert. One from Northern California, one from Southern. But that's pretty exciting.
we did the West Coast here.
Yeah, getting the West Coast here. All right, so I invite you to stand for our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Small little word change, same melody. We're going to be singing, "Let there be light on earth," instead of peace. Well, we can take it all, but we're going to do light today. Let there be light on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be light on earth, the light that was meant to be. With God as our creator, family whole are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let light begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in light eternally. Let there be light on earth, and let it begin with me.
So follow your bliss.